So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the biggest traps that commercial real estate agents fall into, several of which I have firsthand experience. Let's dive into the video. So number one, and the biggest thing that I want to talk about before we even dive into anything else, is understanding as a commercial real estate agent, choosing the right brokerage is very, very important. I'm gonna be honest, I don't care. This is not a recruitment video. I don't care what brokerage you're at. But one thing I wanna share with you is that I have been at a lot of brokerages where they didn't have the mentorship. My splits were terrible. The opportunity for my future was not abundant, and I know you can understand what I'm trying to say here. If you are with the wrong brokerage, think about it. That is your environment. You become what what you surround yourself with. So be very careful what brokerage you choose. It is very important you choose a brokerage that's growing, a team that's growing. When you get into the industry, you want to make sure that you're going to be a part of a team, a brokerage, an area that's growing. And if you're not, I would definitely take a real hard look on a couple key options, which are other brokerages in your area. You could be focusing on possibly even moving to the right area in your state that might have a more fruitful career for you. As an example, this is where we can dive into point number one beyond the brokerage. I don't want to spend too much time on that, but it is important. But the biggest pitfall that I fell into was geographic area. There are a lot of people that I've been speaking to and a lot of people who have been reaching out to us saying, hey, in my specific area, there's not a lot of transactions going on. And how can I still have a great career even though my little geographic area is not a super abundant area for commercial real estate? One thing that I've learned over time is that when I'm speaking to people, I like to talk about how I'm a commercial real estate agent who covers the entire state of New Jersey. Or recently when I talk to people, and over the last year or so I've been saying this now, where I'm a commercial real estate agent where I work across the country. I don't have a geographical area. I live in New Jersey, do a lot of business in New Jersey, but I cover the entire country based on my reach and my team. What you speak about will become the reality. We were just talking about with one of my students how they live in one of the suburbs of a very large state. It can be very difficult if you're in a very distant suburb in a state where other cities might be incredibly abundant with commercial transactions. However, if you're an hour, 2, 3 away from that huge metro area, it might be difficult for you to mentally think like, how can I do property sales out there? I've even told people, move. You need to move. Like, your geographic area is surrounded by nothing. And I'm telling you, if you want to make a lot of money, it actually might take you moving or just knowing for the first 60 days, 6 months, or 12 months, you might be commuting quite a bit when you have to go show property. But if that's where the opportunity is, go where the opportunity is. Stop staying where you are and trying to create something out of nothing, and go where the opportunity is, because there's plenty of it out there. Point number two is all about the asset classes. Now, I've had numerous conversations with agents who come to me and they're like, hey, I'm at a brokerage or I'm on a team, and we specialize in this type of asset class, and it's getting kind of difficult. Well, here's the thing. If you are with a team or a brokerage that only specifically focuses on one asset class, the economy and the markets in every asset class is cyclical. What I mean by this is that there's ups and downs in every single asset class. So please understand that your asset class might have some troubles now. However, it doesn't mean forever you will have troubles in that asset class. But before I obviously dive any further, because there's gonna be some of you like, well, office, I don't know if office is ever gonna come back the way it is. I don't know if retail is ever gonna come back the way it is. Multifamily's been off the charts for a number of years, and industrial is gonna be off the charts for a number of years going forward. Yes, I think it's incredibly important for people to know that you need to, I would say, ride the wave of certain asset classes. And right now, multifamily and industrial absolutely kicking butt. That does not mean that multifamily and industrial are incredibly abundant in your area. Because if in your area, hypothetically, there's just a lot of retail or a lot of office, or you're a part of an office brokerage. I was talking to somebody who focuses on office leasing. I'm gonna be honest, that sounds like a really tough job right now. I don't know if I'd wanna even do that. What you can do is, again, we've talked about geographic area recently. Know that asset class works the same way. So if you're working in a specific asset class which is not super abundant with transactions, it might mean, hey, you need to move. Hey, you need to move brokerages. Hey, you should switch teams. Hey, you should switch your focus up a little bit and start working with investors that are in different asset classes that are actually trading frequently right now. Because there are some areas across the country, in certain asset classes across the country, that are absolutely blowing up, exploding, never slowed down even for a little bit. And then there's some asset classes that since COVID will never be the same again. You need to pay attention that it is sometimes right now in this type of economy, you just got to put your hands up and go, just because my office or my team focuses on this asset class and they want to be on a losing team, I'm not a losing player. And I'm going to go find a winning team right now, a winning brokerage, a winning team, a winning area, a winning asset class, and I'm going to go find a way to make my money. Because that's exactly what I've done over the past few years, where I've been trapped where I only knew the multifamily game. Now, don't get me wrong, multifamily is still crushing it. However, the price gaps between what sellers want and what buyers are willing to pay have really been distancing themselves over the last few months, and last, call it, year and change, as interest rates have been climbing. So I needed to be able to diversify myself in a multitude of different asset classes, because just because my multifamily pipeline, which I try to keep as massive as possible, while those deals sometimes might not trade as quickly because the price gaps are so far, I still have an abundant amount of opportunities in a couple different separate asset classes. Real estate trap number 3 is all about the type of clientele you're working with. So what I want to point out to you is that it is incredibly imperative that you focus on investors that are still doing business. Now, let me be super clear, and I know this sounds kind of stupid and obvious, but people are working with investors, okay? I was talking to an agent recently where this investor has yet to ever buy a commercial real estate piece of property ever, okay? They're looking for their first investment property. And just think about it. This person was telling me that this person's had a few $1 million and they've been thinking about buying real estate for quite some time now, like a number of years, and has not pulled the trigger. And they're really getting curious now. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if this is the best time to buy a piece of real estate considering interest rates are 7, 7.5%, 8%, depending on what type of loan you're getting. Crazy high interest rates that we've seen the last few years. And the price gaps are still crazy different, right? Like, why on planet Earth is now the right time that someone's gonna buy something? Like, if you're working with a first-time investor, stop working with them and find very seasoned investors who have 20, 30, 40, 50, hundreds of properties, okay, whatever the number is, a number of them, and are looking for their next property, not their first property. Because if you're working with first-time investors, this is not the economy to work with them. Just like on the residential side, you wouldn't want to work with a first-time home buyer right now because they're getting crushed with rates right now. Okay, trap number 4. Thinking every single deal is gonna close. Do you understand that I probably make between $50 and $100 million worth of offers every single month? I don't close $100 million a month in business right now. And I know that if I wanna close $1 billion worth of transactions in the commercial world, I'm probably gonna have to write $2, $3, $4 billion a year worth of contracts every month. And I know if I wanna close $1 billion worth of transactions, I know I'm gonna have to write 3 or 4 or 5 times as many contracts on an annual basis. Because I know that if I write $10 million worth of contracts, I might only get maybe $1 million or $2 million worth of contracts accepted. A small percentage of stuff is gonna get accepted, but you have to be making a lot of offers right now. And if your pipeline is not fact with opportunities, right? If you don't have a lot of opportunities, leads, right? Sellers who wanna sell, buyers who wanna buy, you're gonna have a really tough time making any money. So I like to focus on finding an unbelievable amount of seller opportunities every day. My only job, find great deals every day. That's it. One of my future videos, you're gonna figure out why that's so freaking important to literally just making an absolute fortune in life. If you can be a great deal finder, you'll never have a problem earning any money. But what ends up happening is that one of the big traps that people fall into is thinking that they just got a new lead today and they think they're gonna close that lead in 2 seconds. It's just not the reality. And the last trap, number 5, very important to know, and I've been a part of all of these, and this one most importantly, is that when you make good money, it's sometimes hard to stay motivated, to constantly get back on the phones, constantly making sure that you're filling your pipeline, going out to networking events, going and meeting people. It is just a constant, forever lifestyle, not just a nice to do activity. It is a lifestyle. Lead generation is a lifestyle. Networking is a lifestyle. And if you're not gonna treat it that way, what happens when you make your first $200,000-$300,000 or 500, let alone your first 100, it's sometimes you get a little lackadaisical, okay? You kind of like take your foot off the gas a little bit. You think, you take things easy for a little while. You go out and buy the car you shouldn't have bought. You go out and take the vacation you shouldn't have taken, right? Like, I'm not saying don't reward yourself, but there is a mindset of congratulations, you hit a good milestone in your life. Amazing. Life goes on. Listen, if you're content making $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year or whatever your number is, I fully respect that. I'm not telling you that you need to make more money, but I am questioning your thoughts of what is actually your potential versus what you've achieved in the past. I believe you have a potential to earn 10 times what you're making, and I see that possible for all of you. I think it's possible for me to make $1 billion a year. Would it take me possibly 40 years to get there? Sure, but it's possible. So why on planet Earth should I not at least go for it? So listen, if you have the same type of mindset and you want to take your life and your business to the next level, and you're like, hey, I need a coach, I need mentorship, I need guidance, I'm committed, I'm ready to rock and roll, schedule a call with me down in the description down below. I'd love to speak to you, and you'll be mind blown, but guess what? I'm the one actually speaking to you. I'm the one who calls you, I'm the one who has a conversation. I love speaking to people all around the country and all around the world, how I can support you. So yes, it actually will be me. So make sure you schedule a call down below. If you you're still watching this video, that means to me that you're a committed real estate agent and you're looking to take your life and business to the next level. I'm just curious, why have you yet to schedule your free, no obligation coaching consultation? All you have to do is simply go in the description down below, and people are telling me this call has been the most unbelievable, the most powerful call they've had in their entire career. And here's just a few of the individuals who have taken full advantage of this call. And my mission is to support as many realtors as possible, build a 6- and 7-figure net income business so that they don't have to rely on this industry anymore for their everyday income. If you're a committed realtor, which I can seem like you are, all you have to simply do to take full advantage of this free coaching consultation is to go in the description down below and schedule your free call now.